in the morning.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. It is a fantastic Friday, and we are absolutely buzzing with all the crazy drama unfolding in Genoa City this week. Grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's dive deep into the madness because we have so much to unpack together. I cannot even breathe right now. I am literally typing this at 2 a.m. because my adrenaline is completely off the charts, and I need to vent to people who actually understand my pain and my joy. I mean, did we just watch the same episode? I can't believe they actually did that. Because let me tell you, Kyle Abbott finally doing something useful is the absolute plot twist of the century. I have been so frustrated with Kyle lately, but tonight he was like a Genoa City James Bond, and I am entirely here for it. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and process this, because my brain is going a million miles a minute. So, Jack is currently trapped in his own home, playing the most dangerous, skin-crawling game of romantic chess with Patty Williams. Patty Williams, you guys. The woman who literally drugged him and held him hostage on a yacht. I've been watching since 2015, and this is honestly the most stressed I have ever been over an Abbott family storyline. Jack is faking this romance with Patty, letting her move into the Abbott mansion, all to figure out where the heck Diane is. And it is breaking my heart to watch Jack put himself through this trauma again. You can see the absolute terror and disgust hiding just behind his fake smiles, but he's doing it for Diane. And then, the doorbell rings, and walks Dr. Lawrence Markham. I literally screamed at my TV. This smug, creepy, so-called psychiatrist has the absolute audacity to show up at the Abbott mansion, claiming he's just filling in because Diane's regular doctor had an emergency. Yeah, right. We all know he's the one holding Diane captive. Jack knows it too, but he has to play it cool because Patty is hovering around like a terrifying, delusional hawk. Jack is asking all these rapid-fire questions, trying to trip Markham up, but Markham is slick. He insists Diane doesn't want to see Jack and refuses to give up the clinic's address. But Jack Abbott is not an idiot. He might be desperate, but he is not stupid. While Markham is running his mouth and Patty is playing the doting future wife, Jack secretly texts Kyle. He tells Kyle to wait outside and tell the doctor when he leaves. I mean, genius. Finally, someone is using their brain in this town. So Markham leaves, thinking he's totally pulled the wool over Jack's eyes. And we cut to Kyle in his car. Kyle Abbott, sitting there gripping the steering wheel, waiting for this psycho doctor to pull out of the driveway. I was literally on the edge of my seat, biting my nails. Don't get too close, Kyle. He's gonna see you in the rearview mirror. I was so stressed. But Kyle actually pulls it off. He tails Markham through the streets, keeping his distance, acting like a legitimate private investigator. And where does Dr. Markham go? Because it sure as hell isn't a professional medical clinic. No, Kyle follows him all the way to this isolated, sketchy private residence, a house, not a hospital. A freaking house, and the realization just washes over Kyle's face. You could see the exact moment it clicked for him. Diane isn't receiving inpatient care at some high-end mental health facility. She is being held hostage in this creep's basement or guest room. Am I the only one who felt a massive wave of relief when Kyle figured this out? I mean, we as the audience have known Diane is trapped in Markham's house, being gaslighted and brainwashed into thinking Jack abandoned her. But watching the characters finally catch up to what we know is the best feeling in the world, Kyle immediately puts the pieces together. He realizes Markham and Patty are in cahoots, and this whole nervous breakdown clinic story is a massive, elaborate lie. Kyle reports back to Jack, and the scene between the two of them was just chef's kiss. The father-son dynamic was so strong. Kyle is furious. He's panicked. He wants to go kick the door down right that second. And honestly, I wanted him to. But Jack, even though he is literally trembling with desperation, knows they have to be smart about this. Jack realizes that if they just bust in there, Markham could hurt Diane, or Patty could flip a switch and do something lethal. So Jack comes up with a master plan. He wants to lure Dr. Markham away from the house. He figures if they can get Markham out of the picture for just an hour, one of them can sneak into that private residence, find Diane, and get her the hell out of there before anyone realizes what happened. It is a desperate, highly illegal, totally reckless plan, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. But here is where things get complicated, and where I start to get really nervous. Jack knows he can't pull this off alone, especially with Patty breathing down his neck at the mansion. So, he goes to Billy. Yes, Billy Abbott. And you guys, Billy is actually being the voice of reason. What parallel universe have we stepped into? Billy Abbott, the king of reckless, impulsive decisions, is the one telling Jack to pump the brakes. Jack pitches this heist plan, telling Billy he needs him to help lure the doctor away or be the one to break into the house. And Billy pushes back hard. What if the doctor gets suspicious? Billy asks. And honestly, I hate to admit it, but Billy is 100% right. I know some people are loving this new, mature Billy who thinks before he acts, but personally, it's freaking me out because it just highlights how incredibly dangerous this situation is. If Billy Abbott thinks your plan is too risky, you know you are walking on thin ice. Billy points out all the flaws. What if Markham has security cameras? What if he has guards? What if Diane isn't even in that specific house, but moved somewhere else? What if Patty figures out that Jack is playing her and goes completely scorched earth on the entire Abbott family? Because let's be real for a second, Patty Williams is a ticking time bomb. She is currently living in the Abbott mansion, cooking Jack breakfast, rearranging his schedule, and fully expecting him to take her to bed. Jack is stalling, trying to keep her happy without actually crossing that line, but Patty is not a patient woman. If Jack and Billy botch this rescue mission, and Markham calls Patty to tell her Jack tried to break in, Patty will snap. We have seen what Patty does when she snaps. Remember when they tried this with Patty years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. She is unpredictable and lethal. Jack is playing with absolute fire. But Jack doesn't care. He is so driven by his love for Diane and his guilt over what happened that he is willing to risk everything. He practically begs Billy to help him. He tells Billy that Diane's life is on the line, and you can see Billy struggling. He wants to help his brother. He hates Victor and Patty for what they've done, but he is terrified of making things worse. And can we talk about the tragic irony of this impending rescue mission? Because this is the part that is really tearing me apart. Jack and Billy are risking their freedom, their lives, to break into Markham's house and save Diane. But Diane doesn't even want to be saved by Jack right now. Markham has completely brainwashed her. He has spent days feeding her these toxic, calculated lies, telling her that Jack agreed to have her locked up. He told Diane that Jack wanted her out of the way, that Jack thought she was broken and having a nervous breakdown, and Diane, who woke up disoriented and vulnerable, actually bought it. She feels so profoundly betrayed by Jack. She thinks Jack is the villain and Markham is her savior. So picture this, Jack finally manages to break into that house. He kicks open the door to Diane's room, expecting her to run into his arms, crying tears of joy. But instead, she's going to look at him with pure hatred. She might even fight him. She might scream for Markham to come save her from her own husband. I am dreading this confrontation so much, but I also cannot wait to watch it because the acting is going to be phenomenal. Peter Bergman is going to break our hearts when Jack realizes his wife is terrified of him. I know some people are loving this because they hate Diane and think she deserves to suffer for faking her death back in 2011. And yeah, Diane has done some horrible things. Leaving Carl to mourn her for a decade was unforgivable. But no one deserves to be held hostage and psychologically tortured by a fake doctor who is secretly working for Patty Williams and Victor Newman. Wait, I'm getting off track. Let's focus on Carl and Billy. I really hope Billy agrees to help Jack. I know it's risky, but they are running out of time. Markham is getting too comfortable, and Patty is getting too demanding. Jack cannot keep up this fake romance charade much longer without completely losing his own sanity. Every time Patty touches him, you can see him physically recoil. And Carl needs to be a part of this rescue. He was the one who tracked Markham down. He was the one who found the house. He deserves to be there when they get his mother back. I just hope Carl doesn't do something impulsive. He was so angry when he reported back to Jack. He wanted blood. If Carl goes rogue and tries to confront Markham on his own, he could ruin Jack's entire carefully laid plan. So, what is going to happen next week? I am predicting an absolute disaster, and I am so here for it. I think Jack and Billy are going to try to lure Markham away. Maybe by having Billy pretend to be a potential high-paying client who needs immediate, off-the-book psychiatric help. Billy is great at playing the wealthy, troubled heir. Markham's greed and ego might just be big enough to make him leave the house. But Markham isn't stupid. He might leave a trap, or worse, he might take Diane with him. And then there is Victor. Victor is sitting back, pulling all the strings, funding Patty's entire life, and watching the Abbott family tear itself apart. Victor doesn't even know that Carl has found the house. If Victor gets wind that Jack is closing in on Diane, he might order Patty to do something drastic. I am so emotionally invested in this. I swear, my blood pressure spikes every time Dr. Markham is on screen. The way he talks to Diane, so condescending and manipulative, makes my skin crawl. And the way Patty struts around the Abbott mansion like she owns the place. I need Jack to win this one. I need Jack and Billy to pull off this heist, rescue Diane, and then absolutely destroy Patty and Victor. Am I being too optimistic? Probably. This is Genoa City, after all. Happy endings are just commercial breaks between tragedies. But a fan can dream. Okay? I need to force myself to go to sleep now, but I am going to be thinking about tailing that car all night. Let me know in the comments if you guys are as stressed out as I am about Billy's hesitation and Jack's crazy plan. Do you think the rescue mission will work, or is Diane going to fight them off? I need to hear your theories.